Jonathan, I'm going to go to you. To elaborate on our discussion, what would we miss in that discussion that was important for the viewers to hear, I guess?
Just that I think no matter what side of this debate you're on, we can all agree on one basic premise. And that basic premise is we'd like less people to get shot. We want everything done responsibly and safely. And we'd like to see this epidemic, dissipate, if not disappear.
And Glenn, you would agree with that, right?
You got to agree with that.
Yeah.
There's no way none of us want anybody to get shot. That's the saddest thing that any life could have.
Right. So another area we didn't get into was sort of the assault rifles, assault weapons, bump stocks. Should the general public be able to have access to those kinds of guns? Because those are the ones that seem to get all the attention when there's sort of mass shootings.
Yeah, the AR is just another semi-automatic gun. And for a long time, the AK-47 was the gun everybody was after. We got to get rid of AK-47s. And now they're using the Colt style, the ARs guns and stuff. They call it the military gun and stuff. But it's used in competition. It's used by tons of sporter people. So it's not the gun, it's the person. And it just, they like the idea, what the looks of the gun is. They get that, the old saying, the Rambo look. And so getting rid of a gun is not going to change the crime. It's just going to change the name.
Well, tactically, the AR-15 has lighter recoil and better accuracy than most of those previous semi-automatic rifles, which were larger cartridges that produced more recoil and weren't as effective at longer ranges. But I agree with Glenn that I don't believe in banning guns. I believe we can regulate things on other sides to make things less dangerous, but I don't think banning the AR-15 is the solution. I think it's naive to think that a shooter wouldn't just pick up a different gun.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
So, Jonathan, I want to follow up with you, segue into sort of your role at Giffords Gun Owners for Safety. You're the president of the Michigan chapter, right?
I am the past president. I am actually a engagement advisor. A young woman who shoots has taken my old job, and I've gotten kicked upstairs. I work with the Giffords Foundation. I help organize Giffords Gun Owners for Safety here in this state. The idea is that we thought that moderate gun owners didn't have a voice. That quite frankly, a lot of people were either listening to one far right ideology or one far left ideology. And the idea of forming Gun Owners for Safety was to have a big tent where, we have some members who are not pro-AR, and we have some members who are. But we discuss it. We talk about it like human beings, and we come to rational decisions. And then we go testify in Lansing. We testify at city council meetings, board meetings. We've made it our job to be expert advocates on firearms in this state so that gun owners have a seat at the table. We find that a lot of times they don't, and we wanted to make sure that there was an advocacy arm that made sure that gun owners were part of the solution.
And for those viewers not familiar with the Giffords name, obviously it's Gabrielle Giffords, who shot the congressman in Arizona back in 2012, right?
Right. I want to emphasize that Gabby and her husband Mark both shoot. They're both gun owners. It's funny when you say retired politician and gun control activist. I wouldn't use the words gun control. Who likes to be controlled? We are gun safety advocates. We're not trying to take anything away from anybody. She was the victim of an assassination attempt by a mass shooter at a strip mall and survived and decided to devote her life's work to, she as a congressperson took great pride in coming across the aisle and making things meet in the middle. And that's really what Gun Owners for Safety is about too, is meeting in the middle and making sound choices.
Right. So I'm going to segue over to my friend Glenn here. You kind of get the last word on this after show. Let's talk a little bit about Glenn's, Duncan's outdoor shop in Bay City. How long have you been around? And
Duncan's is over 60 years old.
Yeah.
And my mother started it
Yeah.
in the archery business. My mother was a world archery shooter, And my grandparents worked for Fred Bear, and my dad was a guide for Fred Bear. So we've been in the sporting goods and stuff and shooting for a long time. And we got into target shooting, and the more we got into target shooting of rifles and pistols and that, my dad was on the police pistol team. We had to learn more about guns, but we had to learn how to fix guns, and it wasn't a good market at that time of knowledge and stuff. So my dad was one that really wanted to push knowledge. And so before CPLs was even started, my dad put a program together to teach people how to shoot and protect themselves. And before hunter safety started, my dad started Michigan's hunter safety program. And so our shop has been dedicated for training back when my parents, and when I was 8 years old, I got my first gun and started shooting in competition. And so I've done it a long time. And I hold the #1 hunter safety card in Michigan for hunter safety classes and stuff. So we've been doing it for a long time. And with us having the CPL classes, we don't do the 1 and 2 day classes because we want you to learn this 1 and 2 days. You get through the class, but did you really learn enough? And you're trying to protect your life and other people's lives. You want to really know that you, in your heart, that what you're doing is right. And so that's why we make ours a very stringent class. And we have the only 200-yard indoor rifle range. We have 250s, 100, 200 yards. I want to be able to shoot long distance and have the ability to have not to worry about sights or light and wind and everything else. And that. So I want to be able to people really know what their gun can do and stuff. And same with pistol shooting and stuff. We've always gone the extra mile to make sure that our shop is giving you better than normal.
Well, there you go. On that note, I'll leave it at that. Glenn Duncan, keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Got some information about Giffords on there as well. Jonathan Gold, thank you so much. Keep up the good work and appreciate the conversation.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
Jonathan, love to meet you. Come on up.
Glenn, I'm coming up.
All right.
I'm going to come up and shoot.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And make sure to click that bell icon to stay notified when we upload new content. Videos like this are only possible because of viewers like you. To help support this channel, click on the link in the description below. We'll see you next time.